Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to store your own wedding brooch bouquet. This is my rhinestone bouquet that I made myself. I've been sharing several videos on how I made it, the pins that I used, how I made the base. And if you've watched the other videos, you've probably have seen this clip before. This is just kind of just some lighting that I had at home, and I just kind of featured the bouquet itself, but I don't think you probably were looking at how bumpy and uneven the surface is, and how does it sit up. It's kind of just laying there. How am I going to store it? You probably weren't thinking about that. So I'm going to share with you how I am storing mine. It might not work for you, but it'll at least give you some ideas. You're going to need, obviously, your bouquet, preferably a plastic container, some old foam, or maybe a pillow, or quilting, filler and fabric of your choice, and probably some scissors. And that's really about it. You could use a glue gun if you want for some other things, but it's not really necessary. So first things first, get your bin. And I used about a yard of fabric. I had extra, but I didn't really care, so I just kind of draped it how I wanted it. Drape the box so it's lined completely. You don't know what's in those boxes. It's best not to worry about anything. I got a cotton fabric, so it's breathing. It's not synthetic or anything. And then I also used old foam from one of those mattress bed toppers that I used to have. I just couldn't bring myself to throw it out, but it doesn't fit our bed anymore, so I kept it. But I used that and just cut out pieces that were the appropriate width of the bin that I'm using, and I used my bin's cover as kind of a guideline. But like I said, you could use an old pillow, the quilting filler, whatever that stuff is called. There's plenty of things at the craft store you can use. Be creative. I'm sure you'll come up with something. I ended up cutting a bunch of different pieces to shape and line my bin, and I know you're looking at that like, oh my gosh, what is that? But hang with me here. The bouquet is not centered in the sense that all of its weight is not in one spot. The top is obviously much wider, but also much heavier than, for example, the handle. So you want more cushion where the roundest part, the heaviest part is going to be, because that's going to take on more weight over time, especially if it's sitting in storage. So a lot of trial and error, rearranging the pieces just right. You don't have to worry about them being perfect if you are going to use memory foam like I am. But just keep tweaking it. Put your bouquet in, take it out. Put your bouquet in, take it out. And really find where it's going to complement the shape of your bouquet best. I hope that makes sense. Because you really want it to be cushioned, because those things weigh a lot. And this is just a picture I snapped really quick. I got this bin on clearance at Target for $5.58 it looks like. It's obviously nothing amazing. It's a good size for the bouquet. It doesn't have to look like anything. It's just going to sit in storage. But something like this is definitely a possibility. I'm not saying you have to buy a brand new like $40 thing. Just use what's on sale or what you have, and I'm sure it'll be fine. Once this is all, you've got your foam in place, tuck the extra fabric up and over. And if you are using foam like me, there will be a lot of pieces, and what I did was just tucked the fabric ends, like, where it's frayed or the edges obviously are raw, underneath some of the other foam sections, and that way you can't even see it, and it just looks like one seamless piece. And then the last thing you need to do is place your bouquet in, make sure there's still some room at the top, and then make I call it a cover, but I know that I'm going to stack stuff more than likely on top of this at one point or another, so I don't want the top to get damaged. So I took another piece of foam in addition to these pieces and measured it to cover about the top of the bouquet's width, and you'll see it here in the next frame. There it goes. I have a nice little square piece of foam that'll fit within the already layered foam area in my bin, covered it with some extra fabric, and this is where the glue gun could come in. If you wanted to, you could glue gun it shut, but I just folded it kind of like an envelope, if you will, and I'm not terribly worried about it coming undone, because again, it's just sitting in storage. and that is going to go over the bouquet, as you see here, and then obviously it's going to be sitting on there a little bit better so you can close it, but this is just for illustration purposes. And that way you'll have that there, then you'll put the cover on it, on the bin, and it'll be cushioned from all sides, and hopefully that'll help preserve the life of your bouquet. So I hope this helps get some ideas flowing in your brain. If you have any questions or need some help with anything, you're more than welcome to ask below, send me a private message, or get in touch with me any way you want. If you enjoyed this video and the series leading up to it, please make sure to like and subscribe so you can see more in the future. And as always, thank you so much for watching.